In 2019, David Dobrik became the 5th most viewed content creator on YouTube globally. For him and his ever-present vlog crew, everything is fun every day. With a whopping 7 billion total views and 18 million plus subscribers, his popularity soared so high that in March 2020, a Wall Street Journal article named him Gen Z's Jimmy Fallon. But then exactly 1 year later, everything went south, and Dave went from being the most liked Gen Z YouTuber to being the most hated YouTuber. He has lost 13 sponsorships, his street credibility, had to step down from Dispo, the app he co-founded, and the demonetization of his YouTube channel. What's worse is he's currently being sued for $10 million by his close friend, Jeff Wittek. And it all went downhill after the release of a journal article by Business Insider, which showcased just how terrible a reputation David had been building over the years. The Vlog Squad is a group of close friends and other producers who Dobrik frequently films and depends on to produce his absurd stunt-filled movies. This group operates in a cult-like way and follows their cult leader Dobrik sheepishly, while David serves as the director of all of their videos, offering insane ideas and expensive jokes, all for the clicks and views. His friends and Vlog members follow these instructions blindly, from performing dangerous stunts such as riding bikes over shallow pools, to more benign actions of being blindfolded and kissing someone they would never have to, more dangerous stunts such as being spun around inside the ocean by an excavator. These Vlog Squad members are always ready to do it all. Their motivation is not just the internet fame they get and the popularity of their social media handles, but also a cut of the millions of dollars David rakes in with each viewership-driven stunt. Luckily, David isn't all that greedy. He sometimes surprises certain hard-working Vlog members with rewards and gifts like some cars mentioned earlier. Even though some squad members were being bullied, verbally abused, taken advantage of, or racially discriminated against, they wouldn't talk because it's a good thing to be associated with this young prince of YouTube. Well, that was until his excesses couldn't be contained or silenced any longer, and the stories and rumors began to spread. Within just a year, David Dobrik's hard-built YouTube career was already being torn down at a rapidly increasing rate by multiple allegations from former squad members, friends, fans, and the general public. He suddenly turned from enjoying the goodwill and love of his fans and friends to being hated and disdained for a series of controversies and allegations, which include being present and facilitating multiple essays, bullying, racial discrimination, deliberately supplying alcohol to underage girls, marrying his best friend's mum to get back at his friend, breaking up with Lisa, filming Jason Nash and Trisha Paytas while the two were having sex, causing both to break up, and unfriending Jeff after nearly killing his friend in a vlog. With all these allegations and more, it is only natural that David's career would eventually crash. For someone who cannot stay a week without posting vlogs, it's been 6 months since the Prince of YouTube posted any vlogs because he's lost all his sponsors, and many don't want to see it on their screen anymore. From being Prince Charming to becoming Prince Villain, the following are some of the things which contributed to the complete ruin of David Dobrik's reputation. The downturn of David Dobrik's career and reputation started with fans observing how mean and discriminatory David Dobrik is in an attempt to crack jokes and gain followership. This is especially evident in how he makes harsh discriminatory remarks about Big Nick, a former member of the Vlog Squad. David makes careless and hurtful comments about Big Nick's dwarfish stature, as is contained in a video compilation released on March 17, 2019, titled 2017 Best Moments of Big Nick in David Dobrik's Vlog. Though Big Nick seems to show he's unaffected by David's hurtful insults, in a February 9, 2021 article by Business Insider, Nick Kiswani discloses that David's Vlog Squad was toxic and felt like a cult behind the scenes of all that supposed laughter and fun. He said the group's actions towards him were cruel and the jokes were not only on camera, but also in real life, affecting his mental health, which is why he decided to call it quits in 2018. In a video released on Dobrik's channel on June 15, 2017, which he has now deleted, Dobrik convinces Jason Nash, the 47-year-old Vlog Squad member, to kiss Seth Francois. Initially, Seth was supposed to receive a kiss from Karina Kopf, a former member of the Vlog Squad and Instagram model known as Pouty Girl. Seth was blindfolded and then tricked by Dobrik into kissing Nash rather than Karina. Dobrik filmed the incident and captioned it, "He thought he was kissing her, super cringy." In an interview with BuzzFeed, Francois claims that he didn't fully grasp just how wrong the whole kissing stunt was. In his words, "I honestly did not realize how much that situation affected me until the beginning of last year when COVID happened. I remember sitting in my room in Atlanta, and I was thinking to myself, that video is wrong. I just felt that shouldn't have happened to me." In a February 12, 2021 appearance on the H3H3 podcast, Francois said, "I was touched by someone I did not consent to." Dobrik would eventually delete the video from his channel and then release a video on March 17, 2021 titled "Let's Talk." In it, Dobrik apologizes to Seth Francois. In yet another essay allegation, in a video titled "Dirt Dom Exposed, My Story," posted on June 28, 2017, Ali Hardesty claims that Dom reached down her shirt to grope her bare breast and forcefully kissed her after she told him to stop at VidCon that year. However, that which really shook the public and cost David Dobrik his greatest amount of pain and loss of reputation is the third allegation labeled against the same Dom, Dobrik's childhood friend and Vlog Squad member. It is specifically a rape case. In a video titled "She Should Not Have Played With Fire," which Dobrik posted in November of 2018, Dobrik can be seen hanging out as usual with his Vlog members, including Dom. In this video, Dom makes fun of inviting some girls over for a fivesome. However, while Dobrik and Dom were hoping for a fivesome, Dom ended up with a threesome. The video would eventually showcase Dobrik and other Vlog Squad members listening in and trying to peek into the room to get a head count for the vlog. The video would end with David Dobrik jokingly saying, "Dom just had a threesome, and I think we're all going to jail. And surely they should be in jail now, because one of the girls has come out with an allegation of statutory offense against Dom." In a March 17, 2021 article published by Business Insider, one of the ladies in the video, who we will call Mary to hide her identity, revealed that she never gave her consent to having sex as she was deliberately made incapable of consenting or refusing after deliberately being made drunk. According to Mary, she and her friends were underage and couldn't purchase alcohol on their own, but members of the Vlog Squad were more than eager to provide it for them. In an interview with Business Insider, Mary's roommates, who was part of the girls, noticed that Dom was deliberately trying to get Mary drunk. When she was drunk enough, Dom led her and another lady into a dark room where he had sex with Mary. That's when the vlog showcases Dobrik and other squad members trying to peek in to get a head count. Dom kept having sex with Mary even after she blacked out, so the lady inside with them had to finish him off. The following day, the lady eventually texted Mary, who couldn't remember anything, saying, "I remember you were starting to close your eyes and just were obviously drunk, so I finished him off just to get him away from you." In retrospect, in an interview with Insider, the rape victim said she never intended to sleep with Dom or anyone else. According to her, from the moment she and her friends entered the house, it was very much an environment where it felt like saying no was not okay. It felt like from the moment we came in, there was an expectation that they were doing us a favor, and we had to give them content. They were verbally like, "Why aren't you guys being fun? Do something sort of sexy." She couldn't remember anything else after getting drunk. She was so drunk that she couldn't dress up alone after Dom was done. Her roommate and a friend who later texted her the following day were the ones who dressed her up in her undies and clothes. They took her to the bathroom where they performed trig on her. After vomiting, she briefly passed out on Dom's bathroom floor. She could barely walk and vomited again when she got to the hostel. The following day, she woke up not remembering how she got to the hostel or the memory of having had sex. Her roommate had to tell her twice before it all registered on her. Trisha Paytas, a former Dobrik's Vlog Squad member, was there that night for about 45 minutes. She claimed she left when she saw that it was not a good situation, because it felt insane to her that the underage girls were consuming so much alcohol. Additionally, according to Paytas, the girls clearly didn't want to engage in group sex with Dom. She also claims that Dobrik asked Nash to buy and supply the alcohol. Neither Dom nor Dobrik immediately responded to the allegations until Dobrik began losing several sponsors and partnerships. Dobrik later posted a very short video titled "Let's Talk" on his least viewed channel, Views, apologizing for the incident. However, Dobrik's apology wasn't accepted by fans, as it was considered not genuine enough, and because there have been more than 3 allegations of SA against Dom alone. He released a second apology video, but it was already too late by then. His attempt at damage control had failed. Before we mention the last straw that broke the camel's back, did you know that Dobrik actually married his friend's 75-year-old mother just so he could get back at Jason Nash for taunting him that he'd never find anyone to marry? He even went on a honeymoon to Hawaii. Who does that? The last way David Dobrik ruined his reputation was his decision to organize a dangerous comeback vlog on a road trip to Utah. This comeback vlog aimed to create content that shows the vlog squad, as usual, putting themselves in dangerous situations. In this particular case, vlog members are swung around by an excavator while holding onto a rope. Unfortunately, when it was Jeff Wittick's turn, David Dobrik spun the crane much faster than usual and then stopped abruptly. Jeff slams face first into the side of the excavator, with his head submerged in the water and his leg caught in the rope. He nearly died. Jeff has therefore recently sued David Dobrik for $10 million after David stopped paying his hospital bills, and worse of all, refused to pick up his call or check in with him while in the hospital, even after having put his life on the line to get him great comeback content. Jeff says Jeff has to undergo 9 different surgeries as he battles with partial blindness and minor cracks in his skull. He has produced a 5-part documentary titled "Don't Try This at Home," documenting how the accident happened. Detailing just how terrible a friend and person Dobrik is, Jeff says he's done being fake friends with David. In a documentary by Casey Neistat titled "Under the Influence," when he asked about the statutory offense allegations against Dom, David says, "I don't want to respond to it because I don't want to feed the fire of just gossip and hate and drama. I've always wanted to be a person that when you see me, you're just like laughing or smiling, or you're pumped to have me around. Now I'm stained forever with something that I don't necessarily think I should be stained with." His recklessness, tendency to do whatever it takes to get viewership irrespective of how dangerous or obscene the scene is, deliberate decision to shift the blame when he is messed up, and refusal to recognize the influence he has over vlog members and his fans are just some of the ways David Dobrik ruined his reputation. He hasn't posted any content within the last 6 months.